Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Desolate Lighthouse. This is a show where I do deck techs usually with new decks, but for this episode I'm actually playing a deck, and this is all thanks to you guys voting on which of the decks that I built from Commanders, from CMR, from Commander Legends. You guys voted, and of those 13, you guys picked this one, the Ardenn, Intrepid Archeologist, and Vial Smasher the Fierce deck, which is a Mardu Curse deck for me to play here on stream. So I'm excited for this. This is going to be a lot of fun. Before we jump into this, I know right now we're still waiting for another player here. We've got two currently. Breath in here, by the way, was in the chat just a second ago. So maybe he's going to be here on stream to kind of answer stuff as well. But before I jump into the game, because obviously we're waiting here for that to get started, I wanted to ask you guys if you guys are excited for the next set, which is Kaldheim. If you guys are and you're seeing a lot of commanders that you're interested in, you want to see what my take is going to be. I tend to have kind of out there takes. Sometimes I do something that maybe somebody else has thought of, but I don't really see it as being like the one thing that everybody is doing. Sometimes that's the case, but I think a lot of times I do have like these out there kind of deck ideas. I'm going to start doing deck techs-ish. I'm going to do more like deck tech videos, or images rather than videos. And so you'll see that on my Twitter page and on YouTube. So if you're subscribed to me on YouTube, you'll see posts where you'll be able to take those posts and just look at the deck image, and I'll kind of talk a little bit about it. But same thing on Twitter. So if you're not following me on Twitter and you want to, my username is magical__hacker. If you're not following me here on YouTube, subscribing here on YouTube, then obviously you just got to go to youtube.com/magicalhackermtg, and then that's where you can subscribe to me. So other than that, we are just waiting for a fourth player to jump in. If you guys have any questions for me, Breathin says, Kaldheim, I need a bunch of changelings to try things for Grimlock, Rin, and Seri. Haven't decided on other things. Very neat things, though. I do love changelings. Back when I was first starting the game, the very first deck I ever built was Blue-Black Control. It was very bad. It was singleton. It was 100 cards, even though we were playing Standard, so it kind of gives you an idea of where I was back then. The second deck I built was Blue-Green Shapeshifter Tribal, because even back then, my favorite tribe was absolutely shapeshifters, especially changelings. I just thought it was so much fun. A lot of interesting, kind of weird things you could do, and if I ever built that again, I probably would have fun just as much here in Commander. We got our fourth player in here, so I'm going to go and get things set up. It might be a little bit out of place here. Let me just double check how this all looks. Yeah, I've got to fix this chat area, so let me go ahead and move this over. Move this over just like that. We'll close these. We'll talk about the commanders here in just a second. I want to take a look first here at my opening hand. I've got 3 lands in it, so that looks great. I think we should be fine. We do see here the curse, one of the curses. We actually have all the curses that are legal in this color combination. We just have them all in here. I figured, you know what, let's just go all the way to, we got all the way to what we need to do. We've also got here to be able to take care of some scary commanders. We've got Room, Kamal, Akroma, and looks like that last one, Kamal, Akroma, and the last one, Erixmathes. So we got a couple here that are going to be pretty cool. I think, yeah, with this one, I'm going to go ahead and keep it. I think this is definitely pretty keepable. We're going to say, hello, all, good luck, and have fun. All right, so what I'm going to go ahead and do, because a lot of people who will be jumping into the game, they're not going to be able to see the commanders, because, you know, keeping this panel open, it makes it like their battlefield a lot smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and close these panels, but what I'm going to do is put their an image of their commander just right up top. So you'll see it right there at the top of the screen. So while I'm doing that, it might be a little bit of a delay, because obviously I'm doing this here real time. I just now found out what the commanders are going to be. Oni003 says, is that him? It is me. So nice to see you. I'm very glad that you could stop by. It's true, though. I haven't really seen you guys in a long time, and so I'm really excited to have you here just to be able to say hello. So, yes, I am still alive, believe it or not. We're going to go ahead and play down, I guess we're going to go ahead and play down this Windswept Heath. Since we're not going to use the green mana here, this is a Mardu deck. We can use the Arid Mesa a little bit more, it's a little bit more versatile than the Windswept Heath. So let's go ahead and use this one, and I think what I'm going to go for, if I have the Triome here, I am going to go for that. We have nothing else we actually want to do here on our turn 1, so let's just go ahead and play that one out there, and then pass to our opponents. All right. So the first commander that we're going up against here is Arixmethes. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up. Now I did try to find a way to, man, this is going to be tough. Slumbering Isle. I did try to find a way if I could automate this. No luck. It's pretty tough. So I can't find a way yet that automates this and populates those commander pictures automatically. But maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll find something. Miss you, man. Glad to see you're doing all right. Thank you very much. I'm glad to see that that you're alive as well. This year has, or not this year, but last year was kind of crazy. So I don't even know where everybody's at, who's alive and who's not. I wish I could say I'm joking on that. I feel like I'm so out of touch. Maybe it's with school too, though. School kind of can make it where it's like hard to catch up with everybody's lives as well. So maybe that's part of it also. All right, here we are to our turn. Currently, just a bunch of lands our opponents have been playing out. Nothing that's been too crazy at this point. I think I do want to go for the SRAM, though. Let's go ahead and get this one out here. It might be a little bit early, but if we happen to draw into a 3-drop curse, I definitely want to play that one out. Otherwise, we might just go for one of our commanders here instead. So let's go ahead and go for, I guess let's go for the Scrubland. We don't have a ton of red cards in this deck. It's mostly white and black. The red definitely is important because there are some red curses that are really good. But white and black are pretty good in other ways as well. So let's just go and get down the SRAM and then pass the turn. Kind of get a little bit of card draw, although it is a creature, so it can be killed relatively easily compared to other permanent types. But I think that's worth it. We can get it out there and then potentially draw a card next turn. If we use one of our curses, we draw into one that's cheaper. We can do that here. So I'm pretty happy about that idea. All right, let's keep going for adding these commanders. Breffin's commander here is going to be Rune of the Hidden Realm. So I'm going to go ahead and add that one in. Rune of the Hidden Realm. All right, and add that one on there. Perfect. And then the last opponent here, MKB 1460. They're playing Akroma, partnered up with... Actually, doesn't say they're partners, does it? Yeah, I was going to look at the Twitch chat, but it doesn't actually say. The bot there does not actually say. So I have to go here, Kamal, Heart of Krosa, and Akroma, Vision of Ixidor. So I actually do have a way to show partners. It's a little bit cramped, but it definitely works. It definitely works. So we're going to go type this one in. This is Akroma, Vision of Ixidor. And we'll say done there. Harrow coming down for our opponents. We also see a Runic Armasaur for Breffin. One of the few cards that, really I tie to a specific person. Breffin, when I see Runic Armasaur, it reminds me of him. And so I've been trying to add Runic Armasaur more to my decks because I think it's pretty cool, but I just still haven't figured out a way to put it in any decks yet. We draw into a Transcendent Envoy, which makes our aura spells cost one less. Could be helpful here in terms of ramp, but I think I'd prefer to get out the Ardenn instead. So let's just go ahead and get down the Scavenger Grounds. I actually don't want to use the fetch land here. And then let's go for the Ardenn Intrepid Hero. So we'll get this one out. We can definitely attack with the SRAM. I don't think it's going to be that important for us to do that. I mean, the Selesnya deck, they've got two really good commanders, but they're both pretty expensive. And so we'll go ahead and choose Ardenn. Yeah. So I don't think we're actually going to attack them. Rune, it can be kind of scary. Arixmethes also can kind of be scary. I just don't feel like right now we actually want to make any enemies. Although eventually we will need to start putting curses out there. So maybe we're gonna we're gonna make things scary regardless of what we want. Breffin says most on-brand play possible. Exactly. Runic Armasaur. Yeah, I think that maybe for me it'd be like, oh, you know what? If I played Magical Hack in one of my decks, that would be the most on-brand play possible for me. I don't have any decks that play it. Maybe I could do like, I know there's some people that do color shifting with Momir Vig is the one I'm thinking of. So let me go ahead. I'm going to add these last two in here. So I've got the Akroma set up. Oh, it did not show up there. Let me figure out why that didn't happen. Properties. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, well, we're going to put this again. Akroma, Vision of Ixidor. Let's say done. And then let that appear. Oh, I see what I did. I accidentally shifted the previous one. So this I got to put back to Rune. Whoops. All right, so they're going to go ahead and make a copy of that with the Runic Armasaur. What was that trigger, though? Let me see what that trigger was. Cackling Counterpart. Oh, Deep Sea Kraken. I gotcha. They've got that suspended here. Where is it at? Revealed? FX? I don't know where it is. But they have a deep sea Kraken. Oh, it's not them. It's somebody else. I think it's over here. Exile zone. Yeah, there it is. Deep sea Kraken. Somebody else cast a spell, so a time counter got removed from it. Yeah, that's pretty scary. We might actually be interested in cursing them. That can kind of make our opponents more interested in attacking them too, so I don't mind that one at all. Rune of the Hidden Realm. Alright, we'll fix that one here. Oh, did I really just do that backwards again? Well, let me figure this out again. Alright, so this is Rune of the Hidden Realm. And then the other player, 3A, we'll go ahead and put this one. And we're going to change this here really quickly. But let me do my turn here. So we're at the upkeep. We're going to go ahead and draw a card. We draw into Thran Dynamo. Not something I actually want to play here just yet. I'm going to go ahead and play out the Bloodstained Mire. And then I'm going to go for, you know what, let's go for white. So that is going to trigger the Runic Armosaurs. So they're going to get to draw 2 cards off of that Bloodstained Mire. Yeah, kind of scary. This Archetype of Courage. So yeah, one of the downsides of having to do all this, live, specifically getting those commanders up there. One of the downsides is I tend to fall behind with what's happening on the board. So yeah, hopefully I'll find something better that works out for this. But right now, let's just go for the Badlands. Let's go for the Plateau, actually. A lot of white cards in this deck, so we'll go for that one instead. Here, let's go for the Curse of Oblivion. I think the opponent who's going to get the most out of their graveyard is probably going to be, I guess, you know what? Let me change this instead. We're going to put the Curse of Exhaustion on Alex Monster. Because, if they've got that suspended, at least we can make sure that they don't get multiple cards cast in the same turn. So they've also got a ramping, commander. So at the end, this is going to be okay. We're going to go ahead and choose this one. We're going to put this over here. And we're going to say, okay, we're not going to move any of our auras. The benefit here with having Ardenn is that you can do a lot of cool stuff by moving curses around when you realize, okay, I'm not really afraid of this person anymore. Now I'm afraid of that person instead. So we can go ahead and fix this one. So this is going to be a Chroma Vision of Ixidor. We'll say done. And then the other one here is Kamal Heart of Krosa, I believe. So let's get this one fixed. Kamal Heart of Krosa. And say done, and then we'll turn that on. So that's what this looks like. Hopefully that you guys can see that, and you guys think that looks pretty good. I like this setup. I feel like when people jump into the stream, they're going to know more about who's playing what. So I definitely like that one here. All right, so Wordsmithy is going to come down. We're going to go ahead and just jump back into having priority here randomly. Well, that's okay. So currently at the table, I feel okay. I mean, right now, Alex Monster is going to potentially get out some really big creatures. We do currently have the Decree of Pain, and at some point we can actually get down the Darksteel Mutation if they do happen to remove all the counters from the Arixmethes. So that is kind of nice. Right now it's currently got 5. But yeah, if we can get that, we can get those counters off, then the Darksteel Mutation, we can kind of turn that offline. That'd be nice. Decree of Pain also works pretty well. We've got the Curse of Oblivion, which is not doing too much at this point. I think what I want to go for next turn is go for the Thran Dynamo. Well, actually, we'll lose up all of our mana if we do that, right? Yeah, that's right. So if we go for the Transcendent Envoy instead, we can then play out a 3-drop enchantment. Well, we don't have that one yet. We have a Cursed Witch here. So if we happen to draw into a land, we can play out, well, an untapped land specifically. We can play out the Thran Dynamo and then go for the Accursed Witch. So that could be pretty helpful. This is interesting because it has to die. But you know what? I wouldn't mind having that as a blocker, because once we get that on the battlefield, the flip side here is we can make the spells that we cast targeting an enchanted player cost 1 less to cast. So we can kind of ramp up that way. Also, we make them lose 1 life and we'll gain some life. Not a great curse, but definitely pretty fun and flavorful here. Just want to do a quick check here. I've done a lot of changes to my settings because of all the technical issues I had during the last stream. Can you guys hear the music in the background? Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear that music in the background. You should, but yeah, I just don't know if that's still if you can hear that. I know in the past streams it was loud, but it should be back to where we need it to be. Also, I wanted to say a thank you to the follower that I had while we were getting things set up here. That was a level 1 cleric. Thank you so much for that follow. Really do appreciate it. Windswept Teeth going to come down. That's going to allow them to draw some more cards off this Runic Armorsar. Yeah, so if people are playing fetch lands, that Runic Armorsar is going to be doing some really good work. So, yeah, maybe it is just good enough as a card draw creature, especially if you could get it, out there early on. Maybe that's just what we got to do. We got to think about it that way. If we draw into a land, I think I'd prefer to go for the Thrain Dynamo into the Accursed Witch over going into the Transcendent Envoy into Curse of Oblivion. I feel like these two are going to be making more sense. Now, Breffin currently has 8 cards in hand. He also has this Alchemist Refuge, which allows them to, tap some mana, and then he'll have, 3 mana available to use for, flashing things out there. So that could be pretty bad. The Elspeth Sun's Champion, though, that is going to be a bit of a problem here, because with that out there, they're going to be able to make a bunch of tokens. They're already getting all those things having first strike, so anything with 5 toughness or less attacking them, if they just block with all those creatures, it's gonna get killed before it can even deal any damage to those creatures. So we got to keep that in mind. Not going to be worth really attacking over at MKB for a little while here, but we really got to, because eventually they're going to get that -7. So yeah, I don't even know what we actually want to do here. What can we do? This can only hit creatures. Let me just draw into a card here, see what we find first. Curse of Stalked Prey. So dealing combat damage to a player can actually get counters on things. You know what? Yeah, let's do this. Let's take the Curse of Stalked Prey. Hold on a second, actually. Let me think about this 1 second. So this is 2 mana. Let's play out the Transcendent Envoy first. We'll play this one out there, right? Yeah, let's play this one out there. This will get a counter removed from the Deep Sea Kraken. Okay, that's fine. How many counters are on it now? Let's take a look here in the Exile Zone. They've got 2 counters left. So we're going to bring them down to 1. They're going to cast that for their turn. And then after that, maybe they'll be attacking with it. I mean, it's gonna have haste, so they can attack with it right away. At the same time, like, I don't know if we actually want to keep this Ram around. Well, no, we actually do. The Transcendent Envoy might be the one we actually get rid of, but really, I don't know. It just doesn't seem that helpful here. We're going to go ahead and pay 1 red mana to get this on there. We're going to go ahead and remove 1 more of those counters from this Deep Sea Kraken. We'll get to draw a card off of our SRAM here. Definitely not going to want to cast anything else for this turn. But getting this out there does mean that we can actually attack with both of these 2 creatures, get some counters on them, make them a little bit bigger. Now, that Deep Sea Kraken is going to be a bit of a problem, but we can deal with that later. I think that we can wait until when we have an answer to that. We can actually use the Darksteel Mutation on that. So let me see here. We're going to choose the Transcendent Envoy. We're not going to move any of our curses here. So we'll put this onto the stack, targeting the Transcendent Envoy. We're not going to move any of our curses, obviously, to that. But one of the nice things here is once we get this done, we can actually get both of these cards to move to somebody else if we need to. So we're going to say, okay, not going to move anything. And now we're going to attack with all these creatures over at Alex Monster. That way we can put some counters on them. Make them a little bit harder to kill. If somebody wants to do 2 damage to all creatures, now they'll get to survive. Not something you see too often. You see more like 3 damage, I think, if you're going to see a certain amount of damage being dealt to all creatures. Or 13 damage if you got Blasphemous Act. So I feel like this is going to be pretty good here. We've got, I think, a pretty good position. And then after that, we're not really going to be doing anything else. I definitely don't want to use this Darksteel Mutation at this point. I want to wait to use that, and we didn't draw into anything else. We'll definitely always yield to this ability, and then we're going to say yield until our upkeep. So that should be pretty good. And then we're going to pass the turn to Alex. Now, currently they are going to have that Kraken that they can attack with. And if they decide to attack with it, that's not going to be a problem. The thing is, they'll have no creatures that they can block with because we already know that we've got the Curse of Exhaustion on them. So they can't cast more than 1 spell per turn. And that means that they're going to have to wait at the maximum. They're going to have to go for at least 5 turns before they can get this Arixmethes turned on online as well. So they're going to be casting this Deep Sea Kraken. They're not going to be able to cast anything except as instant speed during somebody else's turn. It's also something that can't be blocked anyway, so there's no reason for us to try to keep up a blocker for it. I think we're probably going to be using the Darksteel Mutation on the Deep Sea Kraken. A 6/6 unblockable. It's just something you don't want to be facing. So Alex Monster says, I feel targeted. Simic. I guess I probably can't say Simic is good, right? Because Breffin's playing Bant. I'm sorry. you had no blockers. So that's what I'm going to say. Is like, you had no blockers, so I wanted to get the curse on there. I can attack you. I mean, they're already down to 32, which is not super low, but is certainly going to be a problem. Now, thankfully here, they are going to keep that up as a blocker, which definitely makes a lot of sense to me, because they're probably going to be trying to use that to block creatures attacking them, since they've got that curse on there. If they had attacked us here for 6, they would have taken, I mean, I would not be surprised if they would have taken, let's see here, 4 plus 5, 9 damage, maybe even more with our stuff as well. So I think they made the right choice here by not attacking. So now that they've got a blocker, things are different, right? It's not going to be quite so important for us to get stuff out there. I would love to draw into a land here so I could go for the Thrain Dynamo into something else. It's kind of awkward right now. We've got that in the hand. We want to play it out there, but we're going to lose out on that 3 mana that we'll be generating off of it. So it almost feels like I just kind of want to wait and just kind of be doing things a little bit more slowly here in the early game, because at the end of the day, doing things super fast in the early game, not that important, in my opinion. I don't feel like it's super important. FTX Venom says hi, and Dodecahydrate says, I don't miss you back. Oni says that they can hear the music. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Breffin here saying Runic Armasaur is mixed. Yeah. Hey, everybody. How's everything going? Enjoyed the stream, brother. Gonna go put the bebe to sleep, says Dodecahydrate. Well, it was nice to see you, man. Sorry that I was a little bit late on reading that message. Kind of got a little bit involved here in the game. But, yeah, it's really awesome to see you guys. And FTX Venom, thanks so much for joining. I really appreciate you guys stopping by. It's one of those things. I really want to come back and just see you guys at least, you know, at some point here in the near future. All right, so it looks like Breffin here got down the Fairy Artisans with the Lightning Greaves with haste. They also have the Soul Foundry. They can make multiple copies of the Fairy Artisans, so that is definitely going to be a problem. We want to make sure we can get rid of that artifact pretty soon here. But thankfully, the Elspeth is now down to 4. Creatures are not big enough where they can get rid of that. We actually probably don't want to attack with our creatures anymore. We probably do want to attack with this flying one because they're down to 4 loyalty. We got to make sure we're continuing to put that pressure on there. So we can attack over at the Elspeth, and that should help us. I think right now they've also got a lot of mana. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess that's not that much. I mean, it's definitely a lot for turn 6. Now they've got hexproof, right? Yeah. So let me see here. Let me take a look at this one. Target, permanent, or player. Yeah. So I can't even target them anymore. And their creatures are gonna have hexproof. So I guess now it's got 4 loyalty. We don't have anywhere near enough to get rid of that with the Decree of Pain. So let's do this instead. We draw into a Treasury Thrall. Okay, that's not that helpful here. Let's go for the Darksteel Mutation. We're gonna put that on the on this flyer here, so that also protects us. We can attack with that flyer now, and we can move all the curses over to them. So you know what? Let's do that here. We're gonna go ahead and put this on this creature. So that's gonna cost just a total of 1 white. So we'll go ahead and do that. And actually, you know what? Let me cancel this because I actually want to get down the Vial Smasher the Fierce here before I do this. Yeah, because we're not going to be able to do anything else anyways, from our hand at least. Actually, no, we can put the Curse of Oblivion. Yeah, I don't really see that being that necessary. Nobody's really doing anything from the graveyard at this point. So let's just do it this way. Black here, red here. We'll get out the Vial Smasher the Fierce, and then from there, we're going to go for the Darksteel Mutation onto this Shalai Voice of Plenty. When are we going to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel? I want to see if skill transfers. You know what, to be honest, FTX Venom, I never played Yu-Gi-Oh! I know it is kind of like it was designed based off of Magic, but it was very hard for me to try to do anything related to that because of how there's just those cards, the words are so small, the art is so different. I mean, when you look at this, you know, you're looking at the Decree of Pain up there in the corner. The art is beautiful, the words are readable, and it's like, for me, it's like, I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just like a totally different language, and it's so hard for me to understand what it's even telling me to do. We're going to go ahead and go for this white ability here from the Darksteel Mutation. Going to go ahead and make this have nothing. We're going to draw a card off of the SRAM as well. We draw into Mog Salvage. That is pretty good. We can actually use that right now to get rid of the Soul Conduit. I actually want to do that later. I want to do this here on Alex Monster's turn. And the reason I want to go for it that way is because I want to trigger the Vial Smasher from that ability. So now let's go to the combat. We're going to go ahead and move all the curses over to MKB here. So we're going to move all that over. Yes, I know Alex Monster will have a lot of mana, but they're probably going to be playing a lot of creatures, so they're probably not going to be casting more than one spell every turn anyways. They got a blocker here. Hopefully the Curse of Stalked Prey will not be helping this token army, so that's kind of the idea here. We're going to choose the Curse of Exhaustion and the Curse of Stalked Prey. We're going to move over those two auras, those two curses, and then we're going to attack one in the air over at the Elspeth. We could definitely attack them directly, give additional +1/+1 counter. But I feel like, you know, getting that Elspeth down one more. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I'm going to attack them directly. I realize now what I want to do. Now that we don't have those curses on Alex Monster, they're probably going to be more comfortable attacking with their 6/6. If they decide to attack with their 6/6, they can attack over at the Elspeth and just kill it, regardless of if I've hit it or not. So I think what I want to do here is now I've got plenty of things I can do. I've got that Mog Salvage in hand, so I need to keep that in the back of my mind that during Alex Monster's turn, I'm gonna want to use that one. Because I definitely don't want to allow Breffin to go to their turn. So maybe at their end step, kind of take a look, reassess the battlefield, make sure that that is the artifact I want to get rid of. We'll get to put a +1/+1 counter onto the Transcendent Envoy. So they only took 1 damage here, just a small poke off of that, but I think this is going to be good too. I don't actually want to increase this power of these creatures anyways because of that Elspeth. So that is pretty helpful here. If we got those up to 4 power, then Elspeth can blow them up with that that second ability. Alright, so we're just going to wait till we can use the Mog Salvage ability. I would also like to use that Decree of Pain here pretty soon. All of our creatures here have 3 toughness, so we can actually cycle this away if we wanted to. All we need to do is just draw into an untapped land here. We can cycle it away. That will get rid of all of these 1 tokens, and it'll also get rid of the Shalai too, which is kind of cool. It'll get rid of this. So they'll have no board at all. We can attack with our 2. At that time, it'll be 2 1/1s. Attack them directly, put counters onto those themselves. Hopefully by that point the Elspeth will be gone, but maybe not. We'll see if that actually happens here. Alright, so let's see what Alex Monster goes for. They've also got to realize that the Elspeth here, they can go for the -3 and that will kill their Deep Sea Kraken. So I wonder if they're going to decide to actually hit the Elspeth here at the end of the day. Honestly, I don't think this is important enough for me to try to use politics to sway them in the direction that I'd like them to go for, which is to use their Kraken to kill the Elspeth. So I'm just going to let the decision be up to them. And, whatever they decide to do, just be happy with it. Okay. FTX Venom gives 31 bits. Thanks so much. Just watched the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! On Netflix, and you literally learn it by watching the anime. You know what? Maybe I should do that. That way I can play against, my friends with some Yu-Gi-Oh! For those of you that are just joining us, we are playing a commander game with the partnered commanders Ardenn, Intrepid Archeologist, and Vial Smasher the Fierce. We're playing up against 3 decks here. The first deck is going to be an Rixmithy Slumbering Isle deck. Second deck here is a Rune of the Hidden Realm. And then the last one that we're playing up against is a partner deck again with Akroma and Kamal. So we've got Akroma, Vision of Ixidor, and Kamal, Heart of Krosa. Alright, Colossal Whale here, coming down for the Arixmithy's player. This can allow them, when it attacks, to exile creatures that other people control. It also allows us, if they decide to attack, somebody else or us, and they happen to, and they just so happen to, what's the word I'm looking for? If they decide to attack and they decide to exile one of our creatures, it makes our Decree of Pain a little bit better, because if we use that to blow up the board, we get to draw a bunch of cards, but we also get to have our creatures back. So that will be also pretty nice. We're going to keep yielding here. They're probably not going to have anything else to do for the 2 mana here. They will be attacking the Elspeth, which is what I was hoping for. So now that they're going to get rid of that Elspeth, not going to have to worry about that ultimating at least anytime soon here. I think next turn we're going to go for the Curse of Oblivion on MKB, because I'd like for them to force them to exile their Elspeth. Currently they have 4 cards in the graveyard, so it could be they could get around it, but I think it's worth trying. Let's see, they got 2 mana, or they might be just tapping out here so they don't have to hold priority. Perfect. Alright, Mog Salvage, casting without paying its mana cost. We're going to get rid of the Soul Foundry. Do not want to see multiple tokens of that. We'll get to choose at random who gets dealt 3 damage here. Yeah, and it looks like it got dealt randomly to Alex Monster. So that's not what I was hoping for. I was hoping to kind of deal some damage here to some of the higher life total players, but that's okay. Oni says, I gotta head out and get some errands taken care of. Good seeing you, man. Best of luck. Thanks so much for stopping by. Really appreciate it. FTX Venom, okay, well, I'm headed out. About to crash. It was good seeing you. Good luck on your games. Thank you very much. Thanks to both of you for stopping by, saying hello, and I will see you guys sometime in the near future, is what I'm hoping for. All right, so let's see what's happening here. MKB getting down, I'm sorry, Breffen here, getting down the Helm of the Host. Might have been worth using that Mog Salvage on that, because they're going to go ahead and equip it right away. Equipping it onto the Fairy Artisans, yet another way to make token copies of things. Yeah, we're just going to need to go for that Decree of Pain here as soon as we possibly can. So maybe we wait until they can get a smaller token. Let me see. Let me read this. If you have multiple ones of these, exile all other tokens created with Fairy Artisans. Yeah, so it's going to be connected to the original. So now they're creating another token version here. They can proliferate that too, which is going to be kind of scary. Now these are tokens, so if we blow them up, we're not going to have to worry about it getting recurred from the graveyard or anything with Eternal Witness or anything along those lines. They will attack us here for 5. Now it is Island Walk, but we don't have any islands. So what we could do here is we could allow them to decide if they want to trade with the SRAM or the Ardenn by blocking with both here. Vial Smasher, I think, is less important here than the SRAM. They're going to go ahead and get rid of the SRAM anyways. So I could trade one of our tokens, but this is just a token. I actually think I don't want to do that here. They're going to attack with the 2 flyers over at MKB, but we'll be taking the 5 damage here. I don't think I actually want to do anything. Well, actually, we would get our SRAM back, right? So we let them decide, who do you want to take out, the Vial Smasher or the Ardenn? And then after that, we get to have our SRAM back. You know what? I think it's worth trading either one of these 2 cards. Like, regardless of which one they want it to have back, I'm okay trading any one of these cards for SRAM. Give me 1 second. I left my door open. It always bothers me when that happens. Okay, I'm back. All right, so yeah, that's it. I think that's pretty good. We can allow ourselves to get the SRAM back. And they can just pick whichever one they don't want to see around anymore. Probably the Ardenn. That's allowing us to move the curses around. But you know what? We're not really in the mood where we actually want to move around curses anyways. So I feel like almost like we're okay with whatever happens here. I think I'd like to, if we do get to keep the Ardenn around, I'd like to move the Curse of Opulence somewhere else. I don't really know if we're actually going to be able to move it. I'd love to be able to save the SRAM from our own Decree of Pain. But because it's a cycling ability, I guess we can just do that at instant speed. For those that are just joining us, we're playing multiplayer Commander. And yeah, Curse of Stalked Prey, we're going to allow that. We will want to put the Ardenn back into our command zone. So they decided to get that one off there. Now we've only got 4 mana currently. I would love to draw into another one so we can go for this into the Accursed Witch. That's a good card we can use to block things. So I wouldn't mind getting that one down here. Yeah. Drawing into a mana, I think that's what I'd like to go for over the cycling ability. We've got creatures that we can block with. I think I still want to attack with that Transcendent Envoy, just get some more counters onto that one. Unless they can get another flyer out there. And I think they've got enough mana to go for their commander, Akroma. So this commander right here. And it's a 6/6 for 7. So yeah, that's pretty scary. I mean, that combined with Kamal, I mean, everything is going to gain trample on their turns. They can actually make those tokens with flying, I'm sorry, with Vigilance, Indestructible, and Haste. So that combined with Akroma, I mean, that can be a really big board state. They're going to go for the Rishkar's Expertise here instead. And they decided not to actually cast anything off of that. So just drawing, looks like 2 cards off of that, right? That's what that does. Let me see if I can take a look here in the graveyard. Rishkar's Expertise. Greatest Power. Yeah, so they only drew 2 cards off of that. They must be desperate for a solution. Yeah, so I think here on our next turn, we've got the Rise to Glory. Nothing in the graveyard we actually want to bring back, so I'm okay with not using that right now. Hopefully we draw into a land here. Yes! Bingo, we drew into the Field of Ruin. I definitely want to go for this plan of getting out the Accursed Witch here. That, I think, is going to be super important for us to get out here. So we're going to go and use the colorless mana, because we don't need to use that one here. And then we're going to use up these last 2 lands as well. It didn't let me choose the card. No Expertise casts. Was that a bug, maybe? Maybe that was a bug here. Why would it not allow... Oh, it's because of the Curse of Exhaustion. Curse of Exhaustion. So they can only cast 1 spell per turn anyways. That's what's going on. Yeah, so this is preventing them from casting that second spell. We got the Thran Dynamo. I'm going to go ahead and use this. Like I said, I was kind of waiting for this moment so that we can go for the Accursed Witch. Oops. Not what I meant to do. Accursed Witch here. Going to go ahead and tap that one. Tap this Savai Triumph for that. And get that out here. All right, perfect. It's going to be interesting to see if people actually want to kill this one. It does make us less likely to get attacked, which is ultimately what I'm hoping that will happen. But now, thanks to the Thran Dynamo, we've also got the 8 mana that we'll need for the Decree of Pain. So I think we're kind of ready no matter what happens here. That 4 damage got randomly directed to Alex Monster. I don't know what it is about Vial Smasher. It should be attached to... yeah, that's weird. If I right-click that one, or if I zoom up on it. Oh, it actually says both. I see. I gotcha. Do we want to attack with anything? I guess we were going to attack with this one because I'm not going to block with that. And then everything else, like, they could just eat it. Everybody can eat that, so I'm not going to attack with either of those other 2 creatures. Doesn't really make sense. It was originally, and then it got moved to you. I'm seeing, let me put it here, I'm seeing it attached somehow to both of you, because that's what I do see. So when I hover over this, you can actually see Alex Monster and MKB. Both of them are highlighted as it being attached to. Same thing with the Curse of Stalking Prey. So it got moved over. I don't know what happened, but it's definitely onto both of them right now. All right, so let's see what Alex Monster decides to go for here. We've got a lot of creatures out there. Honestly, I'm not super upset if... Ooh, Acidic Slime. What's that going to hit? I mean, probably the Helm of the Host? I would hope so. The Helm of the Host is definitely the card I'm most afraid of here. Well, yeah, the Fairy Artisans will get to create 2 tokens of that too, so... That's pretty bad. Will those get sacrificed? No, they'll get exiled, so it's not gonna matter. Yeah, the Acidic Slime is definitely a problem. I think no matter what, I know we've got a lot of creatures out there, but I think we've got to go for that Decree of Pain. It's just too risky here. I mean, they've already got 2 Fairy Artisans out there. It's really bad for us, I think. Things are looking pretty bad. The targeting display of cards might be new and still have glitches. Oh my. Yeah, things are looking pretty interesting here in this game. So they're going to blow up a Rixmathes, okay. And yeah, the first Acidic Slime will be targeting the Helm of the Host. Let's see where the second Acidic Slime is going to be targeting. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be the Thran Dynamo, honestly, here. Let's see what they hit. Yeah, whatever they hit, it's going to be an interesting solution. There's a lot of things here. I think if I were in their situation, the Thran Dynamo would be the one to hit here, but hopefully they don't go for that. They're going to target, the Scavenger Grounds. Okay, well, that means that they've got something in their hand they actually want to keep, or they want to get back. They've got that Cackling counterpart. It kind of gives me an idea. I'm going to go for the Curse of Opulence on Breffin here next turn, and that should get rid of some of the cards in their graveyard. Simic Growth Chamber will allow Alex Monster to return a land they control to their hand. Okay, not bad. They're going to turn that Forest that they had untapped. Now, they can actually cast some more spells here. They've got currently 4 mana available to them. Let's see if they go for any of that. Yeah, this Fairy Artisan's definitely a huge problem for all of us here at the table. So I think we've got to go for the Decree of Pain. I think we've got to go for that. Well, we need to draw into another land before we can actually go for that here, unfortunately. So Colossal Whale will be able to exile a creature. They're going to be able to start exiling some of those tokens. So let's see what happens here. MKB... I thought they were tapping something, but they're going to exile that token. It's going to get gone forever, so they're not going to be able to get it back. But it looks like 11 damage going over at Breffin, and they can't block any of it because they have an island out there, right? Oh, they actually don't have islands. No islands out there yet. So they could trade one of their tokens here with the Acidic Slime. I wonder which, like, they're going to want to block the one that's not connected to the current Fairy Artisans, right? Which sounds so weird. But that's the way they want to do it. I wonder if they can actually keep track of which one that is. Probably not. Yeah, we have no idea which one this was created here. Yeah, it doesn't say. I wish it was like you could hover this one and it would be connected to that. That's the way to do it, but they don't actually have it set up that way. All right, well, they got rid of the Colossal Whale. They still have this unblockable 6/6. I think if we draw into a land, I'll be happy to go for the Decree of Pain. But it's still pretty tough here. We've got to hope to draw into that land. And if we don't draw into it, then, you know, besides that, we're just going to be able to go for like a Curse of Oblivion for 3 mana. And with 4 mana left over, maybe we can't go for our commander here, right? Because that costs 5 mana. Yeah, that's going to cost 5 mana. I guess, well, yeah, we'll probably just go for the Curse of Oblivion and just pass. I know we won't be using all of our mana, but at the same time, it's probably okay. We could maybe even go for the Field of Ruin on the Alchemist Refuge. it does kind of slow Breffin down where they can't just be doing stuff at flash speed, instant speed stuff. So maybe that's what we go for here. Breffin says tokens go poof anyways. Yep, they will definitely go poof. Let's see what happens here. They've got a lot of mana, 4 mana. They've also got flash here. Not sure what they're going to go for. We'll see if we can survive all this craziness. We've got a bunch of lands in our graveyard, so this Rise to Glory not going to be doing as much for us at this point. But yeah, it looks like this Arixmethes deck is going to be a lot of like Sea Monster Tribal. Breffin obviously going to be a lot of ETB stuff. And then MKB here. I think it's going to be like a token-based plan where you're trying to create a bunch of tokens and then just giving them a bunch of abilities to pump them up with Chroma and or Kamal. So that's kind of the idea here that I'm thinking about. Green-white tokens and then 2 really expensive commanders to just buff them all up. All right, Selfless Spirit coming down. That's going to allow them to give indestructibility to all of their creatures here. That is going to get around our Decree of Pain, so we want to make sure we can get rid of that before we actually go for the Decree of Pain. I don't know what we've got in that department, but we definitely want to use our Decree of Pain to get rid of this Fairy Artisans. That's definitely going to be a problem. So the combination of Shroud and Indestructible is going to make that very sticky. It's going to be very difficult to get that off the table. I think regardless, we're most likely not going to be drawing a land here on our next turn. So going for that Curse of Oblivion on Breffin doesn't seem too bad, in my opinion. So we might just do that and then see where the Curse of Oblivion damage from the Vial Smasher goes. Let me put this in here in the chat because I want to make sure that that everybody knows. I feel really, really bad about Alex because you know the Vial Smasher is 2 for 2 against them, which is so crazy. Normally randomized. It's not every. It's like what is it? I guess you would say a 1 out of 3 chance that it's going to be double the same person, you know, twice in a row for the first 2 times. That's not that often, but I guess it's not that rare, I suppose. Let's go ahead and get a drink of some Ghost Water. You've heard of Ghost Fire. This is something Ugin loves to use. This is Ghost Water. Got to stay hydrated. All right, get this back on. A Chroma Vision of Ixidor coming down. That will give a +1 buff to all of their creatures, including this one. So we'll be seeing here, this is going to turn into 1 power. This will all be 2 power. This will be 3 power.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Thanks so much, Red Zone Gaming LLC, for following. Really appreciate that follow. Hopefully, you know, I haven't seen that specific alert in a while. I feel like. Do people know what that was from? Does anybody know what that's a reference from? It might be super obvious, everybody knows, or maybe like nobody knows what it's from. Let me know. Let me see if anybody knows what that's a reference to. The Will Smith looking in the binoculars and saying, "Oh, that's hot." What's that a reference to? Or what's that from? I guess you could say. Where is that from? All right, so a Chroma Vision of Ixidor. We've got 2 here. Obviously, one from the Fairy Artisans is going to give a buff to those creatures here. And then the other ones are going to be onto these creatures here as well. So who do they want to attack? We haven't moved the curses yet. So currently they're still on MKB. I think what I like to do is play out the Curse of Oblivion. If we draw into a land, because of this Selfless Spirit out there, I think what I'd like to do, because they're not going to be using it here before our turn, I'm going to go for the Curse of Oblivion and the Ardenn, move all the curses onto Breffin. So just move them all over. And you know what's pretty interesting here? Because Breffin's got mana open, I'm going to go ahead and use the Curse of Oblivion on somebody else. I don't want them to be able to give hexproof to themselves to fizzle the curse. So we're gonna target Alex Monster and then use the Ardenn to move it all over to Breffin. Probably going to be playing down the Ardenn first. Again, hopefully I draw into a land here. If I don't draw into a land, I don't really even know what I want to go for. Curse of Bloodletting. Double that damage? You know what? That doesn't sound too bad. You know what? Let's do that here. Curse of Bloodletting, targeting Breffin. So we're going to tap, let's see, red. Those are both of our red sources here. We've got to tap 2 more. We can tap the Thran Dynamo and use the Field of Ruin. I think I'd like to go for that here. So let's go ahead and use that here. And then we're going to go ahead and grab, let me see. We've got red, white. Yeah, you know what? Let's grab another red source. No. I'm sorry, another black source. I think we've got some triple black in this deck. We'll get to draw a card off of the SRAM here first. So let's just do the damage here first, see where this goes. This is going to be at random. Alex is at 25. We've got Breffin at 34, MKB at 32. Who gets hit here? I think it also will show here in the chat. Can you see this? No, you guys can't. It's covered up by the preview here. It will say, and I'll just read it off. So who gets hit? Hopefully not. Looks like it got Breffin. All right, so it was Breffin here who got hit randomly. It does not actually show in the chat log. We'll always yield to the SRAM here. We're going to draw another card off of this. And then we'll get to, maybe if we find a land here, you know what? We can maybe go for something else. Can we go for the Curse of Oblivion? Maybe. We've got 1, 2, 3. We've got Deadly Rollick. Now we can use this one for free here to exile something. I think I'm going to go for that one, but later. So let's just get this one down first. We'll go for the Curse of Oblivion, because everything's costing 1 less. We've got 3 mana in the mana pool, or available for us to use. So we go for the Curse of Oblivion onto Breffin, and then we'll just hold up the Deadly Rollick on another player's turn. Yeah, you know what? I kind of like that idea here. So let's go for the Curse of Oblivion, casting that one, choosing Breffin. So this will force them to get rid of that Cackling counterpart from their graveyard. We'll get to draw another card off of that. Hopefully it's a land. You know, I actually would not mind drawing into a land here. So yeah, because if you draw into a land, then the Deadly Rollick allows us to get rid of the Selfless Spirit. It's going to get put into the graveyard. Hey, there we go. We draw into a land. Perfect. It's exactly what I was hoping for. So we'll get this down. We'll go for the Exotic Orchard. They currently do have a couple of flyers here, so I really can't. I can't, use the Deadly Rollick right now. I think I do want to wait until Alex's turn. Really, I could just wait until the end step of MKB. I don't even have to use this one at all. So let's just go ahead and get down the Exotic Orchard, because we might draw into a land next turn. And then from there, let's just go ahead and start yielding. I think I do want to yield until MKB's turn, but it also might be a time where I want to use a Deadly Rollick before I have a chance. Like, for example, someone might get something down that makes instants cost 2 more to cast. I'd love to be able to respond to that with the Deadly Rollick. 1 more to cast. You know what? We have the Exotic Orchard out here. We're not using it anyway, so might as well just keep it around. I actually don't want to attack with anything right now. I'd love to deal some damage to Breffin. I don't want to make any enemies here from other players, so we're just going to do it this way and see what happens after this. So far it's pretty good. Curses are doing not bad, actually, believe it or not. I feel like this is going pretty well. Yeah, going pretty well. So we've got the Sea Monster Tribal. They're currently down on mana because of that Acidic Slime targeting their Eryximethys. They can recast their Eryximethys here, though, so they might be going for that. I think that Curse of Bloodletting on Breffin means also players might be more interested in dealing damage to them, because there's a lot of things that are going on their battlefield that's pretty scary. Like right now, Alex Monster could attack them for 12. That is pretty good. They're going to recast their Eryximethys. Okay, not bad. And yeah, let's see what happens from here. I think we're going to go for the Decree of Pain next turn. The fact that we've got our Vial Smasher the Fierce out in the battlefield is going to be really great. Also having the Accursed Witch here will actually allow us to bring it back to the battlefield, so we can target somebody. I mean, I guess we could target Breffin? Yeah, we might be targeting Breffin here. It's a tough decision, though. It's not a very easy thing to decide. Do we want to... This is tough. Like, do we want to... Like, the thing is, Ardenn gives us a lot of options. We don't have to move all of our auras, all of our curses. We can just move a couple of them. So it gives us so many different permutations of that ability. We can move just the curse, just this curse, just that curse, just this curse, just the flipped version of this curse, So there's a lot of things here that we're going to have to keep in mind. So let's see what happens here. We're going to go ahead and, yeah, let's just go ahead and see what Breffin's got. I'm sorry, this is Alex Monster. They're going to attack them for 12. So that's going to put Breffin down to 17. So let's see what happens here. They've got a lot of mana. They've got a couple of flyers as well. That Acroma could be pretty bad. Yeah, one thing that's pretty funny is they don't actually have a way to create a creature here that I can see. So that means that this Acroma will actually be around to attack next turn. It does not have First Strike here. You can actually see that above. It doesn't have First Strike because this makes opponents' creatures lose First Strike. So that's why the Acroma here is like that. All right, and if you guys are looking forward to seeing more decks like this, again, this is a deck that I built, kind of showing off a couple of new things you can do with Commander Legends. I'm planning on doing that starting tomorrow. I've got 6 decks all ready started. They're going to go and use the Sundering Growth on the Curse of Bloodletting. Not much I can do in response to that, so I'm not going to do anything. They will get to populate here, so that's going to be another token of the Fairy Artisans. Not much we can do about that either, so... Yep, that's going to be fine. It's going to get blown up. So it's only going to get dealt 6 damage here. It makes sense, you know, using that damage here. Ooh, does Allen's Monster have a counterspell? Counterspell in the Sundering Growth would be kind of interesting. They're going to go for the Incongruity, exiling the Acidic Slime. I gotcha. So they probably wanted to do that to make sure that they're not going to be proliferating that. Although I don't know if they'd actually be proliferating the Acidic Slime over the Fairy Artisans. That definitely seems like the one they'd probably be populating anyways. But you know what? I guess that's probably good because they've got a lot. Like they've got the Arixmithy out there again. They probably don't want to see that get blown up from the from that Acidic Slime getting populated. So it makes sense. I think this makes sense here. I was hoping for a counterspell. We could keep our Curse of Bloodletting around, but you know what? We've got our Treasury Thrall. We can use that to bring enchantments from our graveyard to our hand. We can recast that there. We've also got the Rise to Glory, where we can actually reanimate the auras if we've got a creature in the graveyard, which very soon we will actually have a few. So I probably would like to use this one to bring back the SRAM here. So that's where I think I'd like to go for it with this. All right, Sundering Growth will blow up our Curse of Bloodletting. That's going to turn the damage here from the Deep Sea Kraken into only being 1 times instead of double. They're going to populate the Akroma. That's pretty interesting. So now they'll get to keep that Akroma permanently. They'll create only new things from the Fairy Artisans. Pretty interesting. Not what I was expecting at all. I was assuming that the Fairy Artisans, getting another copy of that would be pretty good. I love just making token copies of stuff like that and just populating them. Bant is definitely a good color combination to use. I'll definitely agree with you there. Now, you could use red, because red has a couple of populate cards, and it's also got some ways to make token copies of things. So it kind of can go on both of those. That's why one of the other decks that I built for Commander Legends, in addition to this Vial Smasher the Fierce and Ardenn Curse-based deck, one of the other decks was a Naya-based deck using Akiri Lineslinger and Iktekik. Something Splicer. Salvage Splicer? Something like that. I can't remember. I can find this here in the chat. Just give me 1 second here. Iktekik. What was that name of that card? Iktekik? Well, it doesn't even find it. Let's try it. Let me type it in correctly here. Tekik. There we go. Yeah, Salvage Splicer. Wow, I actually got it right. I was like, that doesn't sound right. Salvage Splicer doesn't even make sense. But I guess that's the actual name. But yeah, I made a deck with Akiri and Iktekik. The idea was playing a lot of Splicers, making token copies of those Splicers, and then populating those token copies of Splicers. Just doing that was like what I wanted to do. Just seemed like such a fun idea. We've got the double black for the Degree of Pain, I believe, right? Yeah, black here, black there. So we're good on black mana. They blow up one of our black sources. That's definitely going to be out of the picture, though. Should I have gone for the Deadly Rollick when Breffin did not have any mana open for counterspells? Maybe. Yeah, maybe I should have gone for that. You know what? Actually, it's Breffin's turn right now.
Then, for all time's sake.
Which one, man?
I'll hum it for you.
Blackpink Sayu, thank you so much for that follow. Really appreciate it. Let me know what I'm doing wrong and what I'm doing right. I always value the feedback that I get from people who are visiting maybe for the first time. Let me know what you think. Let me know what I can do to make this more enjoyable. One of the things that I realized about Magic Online is just you're displaying a lot more information than you would be displaying with a paper Commander game. And personally, that's what I like. That's why I like watching MTGO Commander over like paper Commander, spell table, and things along those lines. That's my preference. I don't try to put that on anybody else. Like whatever you want, that's up to you. What happened here to the Akroma? Did I miss something? Helm of the Host, Curse of Oblivion. What did I miss? Created a version of... Oh, no, I'm sorry. There it is. It's right behind. I just missed it. That's all. Sorry. So like I was saying, so I know that there's a lot more information being displayed, but that's why I tried to change things up here. Having that sorry, it's the other side, right up here, having this card version kind of be shown as a way to just have things be more readable, right? So you can wonder, like, hey, what does the Fairy Artisan say? Bam, it's right up there. You know, I can just move this over, and it constantly just moves over automatically. And I can read it too. I've got it here on my other screen, and I can look at that. So let's see what Breffin goes for. I have a feeling they're going to want to attack us here. But I think what I'm going to go for is I'm going to go for the Deadly Rollick here at their end step. And I'll tell you why. Oh, I'm sorry, no. At MKB's upkeep. So I'll tell you why I want to do that here. Because if Breffin... They're playing white and green, so they're not going to have counter spells. What could we do here? Now, I think I'm still going to go for the Deadly Rollick, because if MKB has a card in hand that blows up the board, which I think they'd want to do here with that Acroma being out there, then they can actually go for that here. So let's see here. They're going to attack 4 in the air over at us. I mean, we might as well block with a Transcendent Envoy. I don't really see a reason not to be honest. They're going to attack us also with the Acroma in the air. That's got Trample, though, so we're only going to be stopping 4 damage from that anyways. Is it better that way? I guess technically it's probably better. We only have 1 flying blocker anyways, and they're both attacking us, right? Yeah, both attacking us. Going to be preventing 4 damage. Yeah, you know what? Let's just block. Let's block the Fairy Artisans, because that makes it so that if they deal 1 damage to everything somehow, then that'll actually get that off the battlefield too. So yeah, you know what? Oh, I missed my opportunity, right? They moved the Lightning Greaves over onto the Selfless Spirit. Should have kept track of that, but that's my fault. My fault. Should have saw that coming. Lightning Greaves moving over to that. All right, so now what do we do? We can't use that Decree of Pain, because if they're just going to sacrifice that, they're going to keep all their things around. I guess, though, we can use that one to get rid of the Fairy Artisans. You know what? Actually, I kind of like that one here. We're going to go ahead and cast this one without paying its mana cost. Targeting... Actually, no, let's wait this. Let's wait for this. No, let's go for it now. Let's go for it now. The reason I want to go for this now, I get to deal 4 damage, which is kind of cool. But more importantly, I also get to see, like, if they've got something here on their turn that they want to go for. Breffin currently has a lot of mana open. Let's see what they do. Got 4 damage. Let's see what it goes at, too. If it goes at MKB, it's going to put him down to 28, kind of in line with everybody else. We're right now at 31, so we've got almost the highest life total. MKB has just 1 more life than us. All right. Hello, I'm Sayu from John's Discord. Well, thank you for coming. I really appreciate you being here. MTGO is definitely great at displaying information about the game. I totally agree. And that's what I think is why I like personally watching MTGO Commander more. Now, there are some ways that things could be better, and I definitely hope that WotC will improve on that. For example, I feel like lands just take up a lot of board state. I mean, look at this. Alex Monster has almost half of their board state is just empty space. You know what I mean? What they could do is just move all of these lands up and then just literally make these 2 creatures bigger so that you can read them, you can see them more easily. With Breffin, obviously they've got a lot more lands than Alex Monster. Make those smaller. Let them just minimize them until they're in a row, and you can see what the lands are that way. That's the way I see it. You know, if it's a land, you're not going to have to really see it as importantly as the Runic Armor Source. So make those lands smaller, make everything else bigger, kind of fill up the rest of the board, and then don't leave all this empty space. That just does not make sense to me at all. Obviously here, so you've got a lot of creatures here as well. You can only make them so tall before they run out of room on the width, but just make them bigger. You know what I mean? Just make them bigger that way as well. Because right now it looks so weird that they've got all this empty space. Nobody plays like that, with all their lands like halfway up their playmat. It just does not make any sense. So a couple of things I know that they can improve on, but in my opinion, definitely improvement over Paper Commander for sure. Again, thanks so much for stopping by, everybody. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and just watching the game, because I feel like the more eyes I get on this, the more I can get ideas for how to make it easier to watch as well. So if you got any suggestions, let me know. Kamal coming down. This is definitely going to make things pretty scary for us. I wonder if they're afraid of us here, though. They might be. They might not be. We're really just waiting to see if... they're putting... right now, our life is in their hands. The Fairy Artisans will create a will create... I'm sorry, did something happen? They created a copy of the Fairy Artisans? I'm sorry. I'm so lost. I'm not even, like, watching the game as much. Oh, I'm sorry. So they, in response, they use the Cackling Counterpart to make a copy of it. I got you. So they still have the Fairy Artisans anyways. Yeah, looking back now, I really should have gone for the Deadly Rollick here at the end step of Alex Monster's turn. Just didn't really think about that. So right now, the Kamal will give them a bunch of power. Let's see if they are going to attack everybody or if they're just going to attack, you know, a few players here and try to take people out that way. We do have some blockers. Not a lot of toughness here, so it's going to be... we're at a virtual, let's see here, 38. So they got to swing at us with 38 worth damage. So they're swinging first with 9 damage there. Yeah, they might be just going all-out attack at Breffin because of all the craziness that they're doing here. That will make us lose a few of our curses. Like the Curse of Oblivion will go to the graveyard because we don't have the Ardenn out. We haven't moved it around yet. But you know what? If they don't attack us here, I'm happy with that. It means that we can go for the Decree of Pain next turn and not have to worry too much about other things happening after that. We can kind of reset the board without having to worry about Breffin having the best board thanks to the Selfless Spirit. Let's see how they decide to block here. A lot of power coming their way. It might just be lethal. So let's see. They're attacking them with, let's see here, 3, 4, 5, 6 sixes. So that's 36 plus another 2 sixes. So that is 48. Yeah, 48 plus 9. That's 57. And so now if we subtract their creatures, they actually sacrificed one of them here. They're going to get indestructible to all their creatures. So 57, that's 9 plus another 7. So that's 50, 41. Yeah, they're not even... They're really far away. They're definitely going to be dead here. Yeah, I mean, unless Breffin's got like an Aetherize from their hand or something, like I don't see them surviving here. A lot of these things, especially that they've got First Strike too. So, you know, it's just going to be tough. I think Breffin here is dead thanks to the Kamal and a Chroma combination. Now, one benefit, though, is that we can actually go for the Decree of Pain. So I think we're going to be okay. We'll get to draw a bunch of cards off of that as well. And, hey, the Vial Smasher will get to deal 8 damage to somebody. So that's pretty good, too. I would not mind going for that. Still sad. Oh, sorry. Black Pink Sayu says, well, we definitely don't have to talk that MTGO could be improved a lot visually. Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of ways that it could be improved. And I really do hope that MTGO does improve. It's also kind of... It bothers me that with the Year of Commander, Wizards could have really incentivized people to look at Magic Online. I mean, there's a pandemic, you know, people are at home, they're wanting to play Commander. If you just say, hey, people who join, you know, during the year of 2020, they get a free Commander deck precon of their choice, and you just open all of the precons they've ever had. And it also allows them to add some of those cards that they didn't have previously in precons to Magic Online. So that's also another benefit. And I feel like that would have been such a sweet deal. People would have been coming to Magic Online. You'd have seen more streams. It would have been big, you know. But as it is, it's still kind of like, not the laughing stock, but it's kind of like the eyesore of Magic. Everybody just, you know, talks about Magic Online. They just really talk about it badly pretty much every day. All right, Concordant Crossroads coming down for Breffin. I don't think they're going to survive this turn, though. If my math is correct, they're pretty much a goner here. And, yeah, I don't know why Soldier is up there. Soldiers are not that important to see. So, yeah, that's going to be, I think, it for Breffin. Next turn from our Decree of Pain, our Vial Smasher will be on. Yeah, so down to -5. It's actually a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I'm surprised on that for sure. We're going to go ahead and also get rid of that commander here from this box. So that is 2A. So that is gone. All right. So now here on our, we're still here on the turn for MKB. Now they're going to pass over to us. Yeah, I mean, I think the Decree of Pain will help us get ahead. It also sets people back, which is really an important part of this equation. All right, so let's go ahead and draw a card. And we draw into the Scalding Tarn. I mean, having an extra mana is not bad. Let's go ahead and go for it, because we're not doing anything else here anyways. Let's just go for a basic mountain. Right, because I don't want to have to get a shock land or anything. It's not really necessary here. Let's go ahead and cast the Decree of Pain. We're going to tap 3 here. We're going to go black from the scrub land. And the other land that can tap for black, I don't believe this one can. No, it cannot. So we'll tap the Savai Triumph for black. We'll tap this one. We'll tap this one. We'll tap the mountain. And that should allow us... We're going to deal 8 damage randomly. I'm hoping it gets dealt to MKB, although this Decree of Pain is not going to matter anyways. It gets dealt to Alex Monster. Again, yeah, it's pretty tough. I'm going to go ahead and say... Breath says, I had a lot of toughness, 2-5 dinos and such. Oh, maybe I miscounted there. I think I saw those as 2. Alright, so we draw into a ton of cards here. A Curse of which will get returned to the battlefield. We will say, returning Vial Smasher, yes. We'll definitely want to return Vial Smasher. Then, the Accursed Witch will come back, and I guess I want to target MKB. They've got a lot of life here, so I want to make sure that I'm kind of getting them lower. And then from there, I can go for the Snuff Out. I mean, I got a lot of stuff here. I'm going to have to discard. I think I'm going to discard the Boom Pile. I know. It's not what I would normally do, but I think in this position, it's probably okay. I definitely want to keep the Heliod's Generosity. So let me put this into piles. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of stuff here. Can we actually cast something? Actually, you know what? I just realized something. We can actually cast this one here, right? Yeah, we can cast this one on MKB. So we can pay it for 1, because this is going to make our things cost 1 less. So there we go. All right. So, definitely going to be discarding these lands here. 4 lands is pretty easy for us to discard. The Treasury Thole is a little bit slow compared to some of our other ways to bring back enchantments, so I think I want to discard that one. Let me see what this one does. The Armory of Erois, or sorry, the Hero of Erois. Well, I guess I don't need to do this. Does it think I can cast something else? I don't have any mana. Why is it thinking I can cast something else? Maybe it's from this thing, from the Infectious Curse. That's probably what it is. Alright, so here at the end step, we're going to start discarding a few cards. So, I definitely want to use this one. I want to keep this one. Yeah, I think I want to keep this one too, and this one. Curses are good. Actually, you know what? Since we've got the Replenish, let's discard all enchantments. Yeah, so we're going to discard this enchantment. We're going to discard this enchantment. Discard that enchantment. And that's all the enchantments. Wow, okay. Well, anyways, let's just go ahead and discard the lands as well. Goodbye to the Swamp. Goodbye to the Sacred Foundry. Goodbye to the Marsh Flats. We've got to get rid of one more card here. I love the Tutor. Let's get rid of the Treasury Throll. And discard, wow, 8 cards here. But yeah, I like putting those enchantments there because that Replenish will just bring them all right back. And that's going to be pretty fun. It's also interesting that even though we are bringing back all the enchantments, I don't even know if that's going to be that helpful for us. Which is so weird. But we're going to be bringing back a ton of curses. And, yes, double damage. I think right now the biggest threat at the table is MKB. I know they'll have to redevelop their board, but it's going to happen. I mean, they've got 6 cards in hand. They've got a lot more cards than everybody else. Alex Monster getting out the Seedborn Muse, that's also pretty threatening, but you know what? It's not that bad. In the grand scheme of things, I think it's actually not that bad. I do want to put the Replenish. Currently, Infectious Curse is on MKB. Same thing with the other 2. Actually, you know what? Everything's already on them, so I don't even need to get out the Ardenn. I can just use Replenish, bring back all of the enchantments to the battlefield, put them all on MKB, and then maybe get out the Vial Smasher? How much mana do we have next turn? We've got 9, 10 mana, so we can go for Vial Smasher, Replenish. Oh, yeah. Easy, easy, easy. What do we want to use that last mana on? I don't even know. Actually, no, we can go for that Snuff Out right now. Let's let Alex Monster keep tapping out, and then once they're tapped out, we'll use the Snuff Out on the Seedborn Muse. I think that's the way to do it here. They're going to go and transmute the Grozoth. That's going to search for a 9-drop here. Let's see what they grab off of that. I should have... Oh, I see now. It's the Snuff Out. That's why it's not letting me... It's not letting me yield. I gotcha. Ooh, transmute the 9-drop. Let's see what they grabbed for 9 mana. Maybe something with Delve? Let's see what they reveal here. They revealed Artisan of Kozilek. Whew, that is a tough one. Alright, so they've got some mana held up. 4 mana currently. Let's see if they actually have anything they want to do on the second main phase. But here at the end step, I definitely think we're going to go for the Snuff Out. Yeah, because I don't want them to untap. They'll have even more mana to protect the Seedborn Muse with, so... Going to pay for life. We're going to go down to 26. So, definitely not the lowest life total here, or the highest life total, rather. Either one. Actually, we're right in the middle. Looks like they've got a response here. It's going to go ahead and get rewinded. So they'll be able to untap those 4 lands. They've got 3 lands here that are going to be producing 2 mana. So, let's see if they actually have something they actually want to do with all that mana now. Maybe they have got like a 7 mana. Oh, well, they decided just to untap 0. Alright, so Curse of the Pierced Heart. will be actually doubled up when we get out the Curse of the, what's it called? Bleeding Heart, I think is what it's called. We'll put that one onto the stack. Infectious Curse, same thing. So we'll get to go up to 27, and MKB will go down to 30. It's not amazing, I'll be honest. It's not that great. But getting out the Hall of Heliod's Generosity into the Replenish, into the Vial Smasher, I think is going to be a pretty good sequence here. We could also potentially draw into a 2-drop enchantment that we can, then cast for 1 mana because of the Infectious Curse. I'm pretty sure we'll be targeting MKB with it as well. So, yeah, Curse of the Pierce Heart, going to put them down to 30. They currently don't have anything they can attack with. It's going to be a great blocker, but that's really it. So yeah. Breffin says, Lamentations for not hitting the cheap populate cards that game. An argument for running Eyes in the Skies over Garruk. Playwise, landing Rune to control Kamal would have helped, but not nearly as fun. Yeah, I mean, it's also interesting. There was never a point in that game where you got Rune out, which is surprising to me. But at the same time, you never really needed to. It was like there was so much stuff going on, like you were doing just fine without it. You didn't need to go for that. They've got an attacker now. They can attack with that 1/2. They're going to go ahead and use that Myriad Landscape, grab some lands off of that. Yeah, so if you had gotten a Kamal, that would have definitely helped. But I think this is fine. I think ultimately what you did made sense. You had a lot of stuff going on, and really, like honestly, I should have seen them playing out their commander. They could have killed me. Like I was not anywhere closer to surviving than you were. It's just that I happen to not be as scary. So it's kind of weird. Commander is one of those things where it's not a race. It's a Mario Kart, And so you want to try to stay out of first place, believe it or not. And I think Commander is the same way. Hour of Revelation? No, that's bad, because that turns the Shalai back online. No, that's bad. That's bad. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start off with the Hall of Heliod's Generosity. Going to play that out there. Then we're going to go for the Replenish. 3 mana here, and then I think the white mana, we're going to use it from the Exotic Orchard, because that's not, like, blue and green we don't need. So, going to use that one here, Replenish, get back all those curses. We're going to attach them all to MKB 1460. And then from there, we've got 4 mana left over, I believe. Yeah, currently, 5 mana left over. 6 mana, my bad. So we're going to go ahead and choose attach the returning auras. We're going to put that on MKB. We're going to put that on MKB as well. We're going to put that on MKB. So we're going to force all their creatures to attack every turn. We're going to go ahead, and when people attack them, they're going to gain life. And then we're also going to allow people to gain zombies by attacking them. Okay, perfect. Now what? We can go for the Open the Armory. You know what? Let's do that. Let's go for the Open the Armory. We can find up to a 5-drop creature, or a 5-drop aura, rather. Let's go for it. Let's see what we can find. We do need to use the white mana. I don't see any red things that we're going to be needing, I think. So I'm going to leave it with the double block here, because that might be more important. Ooh, I know what we can do. We can attach the one that gives -1/-1. That will blow up all their creatures. Because first what will happen is they will lose the Angel of Achroma, the Invention. That'll stop the +1/+1, and so everything will be back to 1 toughness. Those will die as well. I kind of like that idea. We give -1/-1 to all of their creatures. Let's go for that here. I think that's going to be pretty sweet. Pretty sweet indeed. They're at 30 life, so pretty close to starting life total, believe it or not. But yeah, we'll have to double black. I wonder what Alex is going for here. They're going to go for the Elder Deep Fiend to tap some permanents in response. I feel like that's going to be tapping down the blockers here, because there's a couple of creatures that can block. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. They're going to remove a counter off of the Rixmathes. Okay, that's fine. Does it say what the targets are? Oh, they're tapping our lands. Well, we're going to go and tap the lands right now, because we're going to want to use them. So we're responding to the Elder Deep Fiend. Tap those lands for mana. So tap this for red. Tap this one for colorless. Tap this one for black. And I definitely want to tap this one for black as well, because that's a 5-drop enchantment. And I think it is helpful for us here. I know right now they're getting out a 5/6 that they can attack with. But the fact that we've got the Hour of Revelation and the Boom Pile in play, we can also get out our creatures. Like, I think we've got a couple of things we can do, and we'll be just fine. Getting that Treasury Throw out from the graveyard using our Rise to Glory, that also seems pretty good for us. So I feel pretty happy no matter what we do here. So auras. What do we want to get out of here? So the one that I was thinking of initially was the Curse of Death Souls. I still like that one, to be honest. The other ones are not going to be as helpful here. Let me just double check here. So this is at our upkeep. We got to put additional curses on there. Normally, I would want to go for that one here, but the fact that they've got so many creatures out there on the battlefield, and they could easily get out their commanders and just pump them up and deal a lot of damage, potentially even killing us, I think we've got to go for that Curse of Death's Hold to stop them from doing that. Yeah, we got to go for that one. Curse of Death's Hold into the hand. We're going to go and play this out there, targeting MKB, using up all the mana here. Oh, we actually have one extra mana. Well, I could have gone for the Hero of Eros. No, I couldn't have, because the mountain does not tap for white. Let's just use the one colorless mana here. Get this one down. I guess it's because it's costing 2 less, thanks to the Transcendent Envoy. So this is making it cost 1 less. This is making it cost 1 less. All those creatures are now gone. And that's it. We're going to lose that mana, unfortunately, but that's fine. We don't need anything else, I think, off of that. So, yeah, let them do what they're going to do here. We got the Hour of Revelation if we need to use that to get rid of everything off the battlefield. So that might be something we're going to go for. They've got a lot of mana, and so I think that would be something I'd like to see personally. Right now, they can attack them for 7, which is going to be doubled up to 14, so that'll put them down to 16. Lowest life total at the table. I feel like that's pretty expectable. Like, I feel like that's not going to be hard. So also, they're going to gain some life off of that. They're going to make them bigger. Like, there's just a lot of things here that I feel like that makes a lot of sense for. Exiling the cards from their graveyard. I wonder what they're going to be targeting. Probably more lands, because they're not going to be getting those back, I think. So Artisan of Kozilek will bring back a creature from the graveyard. Acidic Slime definitely seems like the one that they might be interested in going for here. But you know what? I could even see... Oh, they're going to go for the Deep Sea Kraken. Oh, that makes sense. Unblockability seems like a good idea as well. We might need to go for the Hour of Revelation. I know we just got all of our enchantments out there on the board, but going for this one is good because it allows us to get rid of all these things on the board. And we can maybe rebuild faster than everybody else. So white, white, white. We're going to have colorless, colorless. So 5 colorless, a red, and then the Triome. So we can go for the Vial Smasher. Get that out there. It's going to be dealing damage to somebody. We could also go for the Rise to Glory after the... Oh, no, we don't have. We only have the one Triome. So we can't go for that. We literally cannot go for that. We can go for Vial Smasher, because we're going to have the red here, and we can tap this one for black. Or we could go for the Ardenn, but that doesn't make sense when we don't have any curses out there. Looks like they're going to attack them with a couple of things. So, ooh, this might be lethal on MKB here. Looks like it is. So, if that's the case, let me think about this here. They've got too many creatures for us to go 1v1 with them at the moment. So, I think we're going to go for the Hour of Revelation. They've got 0 cards in hand, so that should be helpful for us. Looks like we're getting attacked here for 2. We cannot kill their creature because we don't have any creatures that can block. But we can chump block it. But it's just 2 damage. Honestly, I don't see that 2 damage being that helpful here. So, or that harmful, rather. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. Reference says, Step 1, it's a populate deck more than a rune deck. I had places to put out rune, but my only targets were interfering with opponents. It just happens that ETB creatures are good for both rune and populate. You know what? Based on that deck, all right. So that is it for MKB. They are out of the game, and they do got to put some counters on their creatures here. I was gonna say something, Breffin. Because of you're wanting to go for that and making token copies of things. Oh, all of our auras get blown up anyways. Well, that just makes that decision easier then, right? Because all the auras are gone because of the player dying. You know what? Yeah, that's even easier. Ooh, oubliette. Let's go for the Hour of Revelation first. See if they've got an answer. They've got 0 cards. Oh, they don't have an answer. So, do we attack in the air first? I mean, yes, because we can. So, we go for the Ascendant Envoy. And then for the... Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and begin combat. I kind of have an idea of what I want to do here. Attack for 1, put him down to 18. Then go for... Because, I mean, I guess technically I attack with a zombie too, but they're just going to block with one of their bigger creatures and just eat it up. There's no reason for us to do that here. And actually, we kind of do need it on the board. Because having the zombie allows us to cast this for less. Because we need to have non-lands. 10 or more non-lands. Currently, they've got 6. We've got 2. That's 8, 9. Actually, no matter what, we're going to have to do this. We could use Oubliette on one of our own creatures. And then go for the hero, the Hour of Revelation. It will cost the same amount. I don't think that really makes sense here. Hero of Erois. I mean, it's good for the ramp. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I feel like it doesn't really make sense. We're going to use the Oubliette, you know, on something better. But yeah, let's go for the Hour of Revelation right now. So 1, 2, 3, white, white, and you know what? I think this doesn't tap for white anymore. It does not. So we're gonna have to use the white off of this here. So now we can't play out either of our commanders. We can't activate the Hall of Heliod. We can use the Field of Ruin though, and that does sound pretty good. We can use that on the Simic Growth Chamber. That'll set them down 1 mana, but so it'll set us down 1 mana too. That's not that great. Hero of Erois, we can't go for double black. We can get the Boom Pile out there. Nah, doesn't seem that great. Field of Ruin, set them down 1 mana. We set ourselves down none. You know what? Let's go for it. It's going to set them down. I'm happy with that. Simic Growth Chamber. Let's use the Hall of Heliod's Generosity and the Mountain. Actually, no, let's use the Exotic Orchard, because we're not going to use blue and green right now. We'll go and target that one. And then the land we're going to grab here, we've got black, black. I kind of would like some more black, to be honest. Yeah, let's go for another black source. Let's go for a swamp here. All right, and then after that, we don't have enough to really do much. Oh, we could have gone for a white source to get down the Hero of Erois. Oh, that's okay. I still think the black is better in this position, because we have a couple of things. Like if we want to go for the Oubliette and the Rise to Glory in the same turn, we've got to have triple black. We didn't have it before, now we do. So we have the double white already if we want to go for both of these. If we wanted to go for, let's say, Vial Smasher and Oubliette, you know, we have to get the mana out for that too. But I think this is good. Their commander is going to cost a lot, so I feel okay about this. I think right now we're doing all right. Sharkto Crab. Okay, that's fine. So Rise to Glory. What do we want to bring back? I think with Rise to Glory, we want to use it to bring back the Curse of Exhaustion and the SRAM. So I think we're going to go for that next turn. We can use the Oubliette here to get rid of the Sharkto Crab. So we might go for that one. But I think those are the 2 cards we actually want to get back here. Curse of Stalked Prey doesn't really make sense. Curse of the Pierced Heart doesn't really make sense. It's just, I think that the Curse of Exhaustion will actually be the most impactful on this board. We could even go for the Curse of Death Soul, but they've got a lot of big creatures, not a ton of small creatures. So it's not going to kill anything, really. It's just going to make them slightly worse. Yeah, I say let's go to our turn. We've only got 34 minutes on the clock. That's 10 minutes less than our opponent. But, you know, sometimes streaming, that'll do it. That'll definitely do it. So, yeah, Breffin, kind of going back to what you were saying, I would definitely look into changing out Rune. I know I've mentioned this before. Sometimes I will suggest a different commander, and you'll be like, technically, yes, that's more efficient, but I like this one more. So, again, if that's what you want to say here again, that's fine. Like, it is your deck. You do what you want. But if you want to make token copies of things, probably not a bad idea to have Iktekik in the command zone, because then you can make token copies of that at least, and it can make all your golems huge. It works well with the populate theme. Like, I think it would really work out well. So let's go for the Rise to Glory first. We're going to choose both. We're going to choose the creature card here. Ooh, Treasury Thrall. Actually, that might be better. You know what? I kind of like that one better here. We're going to go for that one. And we're going to bring back the Curse of Exhaustion, right? Yeah, I think that's the one that makes the most sense. Curse of Exhaustion. Get that one out here. So white, black. We don't have enough card draw here to be using the Hall of Heliod's Generosity anytime soon. So let's go and tap this one down, tap that one down. And we've got 3 mana left over. We can go for the Oubliette here. Sharkto Crab, not a great target for it, to be honest. Maybe instead I'll just go for the Hero of Erois and extort off of the Thran, off of the Thran, sorry, not Treasury Thrall, rather. Let's go for the Hero of Erois, cast that one. We're going to tap this mana here and this mana here. We're going to go ahead and extort, go up to 26. And, yeah, I mean, it's not bad. 4/4 will be pretty tough to block. They've got a 4/4 here that they can adapt. But we can use the Oubliette on it if we need to. And then once we start using the Treasury Thrall, we can, start getting back other creatures. We can make them smaller. We can do other stuff with that. So I feel like that's going to be pretty good as well. They're going to adapt here in response. So that's fine. Not really worried about that, to be honest. They're going to adapt here in response. This one has tap target creature an opponent controls. So we won't be able to attack with a Treasury Thrall next turn. That's okay. I honestly think that's okay here. We've got that Hero of Erois that we can get down. We're extorting here, so I'm happy about that too. They're only going to be able to cast one spell per turn, so kind of limiting them down that way. I'm happy with that. We will pay the white here for the extort. We'll say yes. And yeah, put them down to 17. We're going to go up to 26. All right. And then pass the turn. They've got a 5/5. They can attack us, putting us down to 21. But ultimately, I'm not that afraid of them doing that here. I also was thinking, you know, bringing back the Shram would be nice because we can start drawing more cards, but we need to have auras in our hand first before we can draw cards off of Shram. Maybe we go for the Hall of Heliod's Generosity. So let me think about this here. If we want to bring back any one of these, well, not that one. That one definitely makes the least amount of sense. We can gain life off of attacking them. Not going to block here. We're going to just take the 5. Putting a +1/+1 counter. That seems okay. What did they tap mana for here? Did I miss it? They went for... they cast Rick Smithies. Okay, so Rick Smithies is back on the battlefield. And so now it is our turn. So we're going to go ahead... Hold on a second. Do I want to use the Hall of Heliod's Generosity? I kind of do, honestly. I feel like that's going to be better than just a random card. That's an enchantment, so we can put that on top, but I don't really see that being that helpful here. We could get back the Darksteel Mutation, turn the Shark Crab into a 1/2. I mean, that's kind of nice. We get rid of the abilities off of it. Let me see. So that one doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Curse of Bloodletting seems pretty good. You know what? I'm actually down for that one. If I use this one, I'll have enough mana to go for it. Let's do that. Curse of Bloodletting. Or you know what? Curse of Disturbance. Make some tokens. Yeah, and then we go for the Curse of Bloodletting later. Oh my gosh, that was very tough to say. Yeah, Curse of Disturbance. We will go ahead and use white mana here and then 1 mana off of the Exotic Orchard. Put that enchantment on top of our deck. Curse of Disturbance. And then we're going to go to our turn. Play out the Curse of Disturbance. So we'll tap. We'll target Alex Monster here with that. Black and 1. So we actually have the mana still to go for the Oubliette. We could actually extort here. Do we want to extort or do we want to Oubliette? I think extorting is better. Is it though? We prevent them from dealing 5 damage to us. We can block with the zombies. You know what? I'm gonna go for the Oubliette on the Sharkto Crab. So we're not going to extort here. Yeah, we'll say no to that one. Negative. And then Curse of Disturbance. So we can get a zombie here from attacking them. And we can use that zombie to block this Sharkto Crab. So I kind of like that one idea. Oops. Or I'm sorry. We don't even have to block it because we're about to get rid of it. So let's go ahead and target this. And we're going to tap black and black here. And the plateau. I forgot this is not an aura. You don't choose a target until it enters the battlefield. Got the extort trigger on the stack again. We're going to say no to that one. We got the boom pile in hand in case we need to use it. But for right now, I think we're going to be using more of our... we're going to be using more of our Hall of Heliod's Generosity to do stuff. To stay banned, that would be Iktekik and Ishai. Yeah, not seeing it. Rune at least does things as a commander. I guess that's true. There's also Sakashima, which can copy commanders. So you can make token copies of legendary creatures and not lose them. That could be one that you want to use. It depends. It really depends on what you want to do. Like, there's a lot of things you can actually figure out. We got a zombie out there, which is good. We only get 1 zombie per turn, I believe. Yeah, only 1 zombie per turn. But hey, 1 zombie per turn is not bad. This is basically like a what's it called? What's that card? A Bitter Blossom. It's kind of like a Bitter Blossom. Costs 1 more. You don't have life. Alex Monster says GG, but that was earlier. So I'm sorry. I was reading that more recently here. Tromokratis. Can't be blocked unless all creatures defending players control block it. So we won't be able to block this one. That one definitely seems like a good target for the Darksteel Mutation. So I think that's what we're going to go for next turn. Is there anything else that works better? No, that doesn't work. That one's not as good. So let's say we double the damage. They block the biggest creature. We deal them 8 damage. It's only 7. So yeah, we got to use this Hall of Heliod's Generosity to put the Darksteel Mutation on top. Let's go for that one. Darksteel Mutation. We will pay 1 mana here, and then this is what, a white card? So we're just going to use the mountain here. Put that on top of our deck. We draw into it. We then play it out there. It's going to cost 1 less because of our aura spells. So we can just tap 1 white. We're going to tap... Oh, this has hexproof. Hold on, let me just read this card one more time. Unless it's attacking or blocking. You can't cast this at instant speed. If we block with all creatures, that will actually trade. What do we want to do here? We attack with a zombie, we create another zombie. Not going to help us out. We attack with a 4/4. We can't do anything. We can return an enchantment to our hand, but what enchantment would we want to return anyways? None of these are going to help us stop a Tromokratis. Maybe we just get out our commander, so that we at least get to keep out a creature. Yeah, you know what? Let's get out the Ardenn. We don't need the Ardenn anymore. The Vial Smasher we would want. We would like to keep that around. So let's just get out another creature. Just make it so they have more options. They would want to keep... Well, at least we get to keep... Actually, hold on. I got a better idea. Let's go for the Vial Smasher, because now we can keep one of our other creatures instead. They're going to just give us a zombie, though. Man, this is tough. Let's go for the Boom Pile. Because if they decide to attack us... I mean, we're going to be losing all of our creatures anyways. So, at least then we can see... And hey, we get to extort here. That's fine, too. Yeah, so at least that way we get to see if we can kind of reset everything. We will pay the 1 mana here. They're down to 1 card in hand. The fact that they can only cast 1 spell per turn is pretty bad for them. So I would like to not use that Boom Pile as much as possible. We can't attack with a zombie. If we attack with a zombie, we can't block that one. And we're at 22. We just can't afford to take that much life here. Does this get around? Target creature phases out. Nope, it does not get around hexproof. So the Tromokratis, the only way we can get rid of that one is with a board wipe. Boom Pile, I mean, that's going to have to be our option here. So really, I think at this point we're going to try not to build up the board. Let's see, if we attack with everything, at least we get to return an enchantment to our hand, and then hopefully we can win the Boom Pile flip. You know what? I kind of like that idea. Let's attack with everything. We're going to get to create 1 zombie, but that doesn't matter, because in response... So, right now, we're attacking with the Treasury Thrall. We'll get to return an enchantment from our graveyard to our hand. Or actually, artifact, too. Maybe the Thrain Dynamo. Let me see here. Transcendent, Curse of Stalked Prey, Accursed, Curse of the Pierced. We can gain some life off of that. I'm a little bit nervous here. I think the Curse of Bloodletting allows us to do more than anything else. SRAM, yeah, it's not going to be doing that much. Yeah, at least the Curse of Bloodletting allows us to double the damage, so we can put them at a virtual 7. So yeah, let's put that into the hand. And then we're going to create a zombie. Do I want to keep out a zombie? I mean, if we win this flip, we blow everything up. We get the zombie, we can block the Shark-Toe Crab. If we don't win the flip, we're going to get attacked for 8. We're going to have a zombie. You know what? Let's see if we can get whatever they're casting on their turn as well. But they're just going to play it around that, right? Having 1 zombie is not that big of a deal, though. Yeah, because it doesn't matter if we had won the flip. Yeah, so we are going to return that to our hand. Yeah, because now we can actually deal some damage to them. They're going to take 4 damage here, go down to 10. Makes it a lot easier for us to kill them. I think I would make them lose 4 life. Yeah, they're going to block the Treasury Throw. Just makes it easier to lose our stuff later on. I feel pretty good about this. I would love to get into a way to draw more cards. We could have used that tutor to grab Underworld Connections, but I think we did the right thing at that time to go for it this way. Okay, so let's try to get whatever they're casting on their turn as well. Especially that if we can do it after they attack, then the Oubliette getting them that Shark-Toe Crab back in play, they can't attack with that after they've already declared attacks. So that's the benefit here. Is if we can do it after they have the attacks declared, that's the best time to activate the Boom Pile. All right, beginning of combat. Let's see what they do. I mean, they're going to attack with that 8/8, right? Let's go for the Boom Pile. Hopefully we win this flip. And we will lose a lot of stuff. Obviously, they're only losing 1 card here, but they're getting 1 card back. So it seems pretty bad for us. But that's their only answer to the Tromokratis. So we win this flip. It will prevent us from taking the 8 damage. And we still have that Hall of Heliod's Generosity, so we can rebuild. It's just going to be a while in terms of rebuilding. They're going to go for the Quest for Ula's Temple. They can cast their other card from hand as well. That will eventually get the Arixmethes online also. Yeah, I guess we can probably... So here we are at the upkeep. I definitely want to use the Hall of Heliod's Generosity. I want to use it to bring back Oubliette, because then we can put it onto the Sharktail Crab. We don't have to worry about them attacking us. And we get to put out the Curse of Bloodletting as well. That's so weird. Why does it say 4 damage on that? That's odd. Oh, everything has 4 damage right now. All right, so we're going to choose the Oubliette. Put that on top of our deck. We're going to pay white and 1. Put that on top. We recast that. We have 2 mana left over. I guess then we probably do go for the Darksteel Mutation. Oh no, we're gonna get rid of that off the battlefield. Darksteel Mutation is gonna be good on the Arixmethes later on. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. All right, Oubliette into the hand. We'll go ahead and cast that out here. They can't cast 3 spells next turn. There's no way, right? What does Ula thing do? They can't cast things off of that. All right, so that's fine. We'll tap 1 there and a black from the Scrubland. And then, yeah, I mean, Darksteel Mutation later on would be nice. But for right now, I think preventing the damage being dealt to us is going to be really crucial every step of the way. After this, we can get down Vial Smasher. Even if they've got plenty of blockers, we're going to still dealing damage to them with our spells. So I think that's going to be important as well. If they can somehow manage to get Arixmethes online, you know, then it's a different story. But ultimately, I actually feel, okay, since this is not going to have unblockability, might just be the best idea to play out Ardenn and then put the Darksteel Mutation onto it, because then we can choose Arixmethes later on in a different combat and move it onto there. But in the meantime, we can just block the Arixmethes as long as it doesn't have unblockability. Maybe that's what we do next turn. Ardenn, let's see, that's 5 mana. They have mana for the Darksteel Mutation as well. Yeah, it doesn't seem too bad. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. Darksteel onto our own Ardenn. Also prevents us from getting dealt damage. But maybe it's better to get out the Vial Smasher. Well, let's see what they actually do. If they cast some spells here, that's going to change things up for us. They don't have any card draw, right? No, that's not going to do anything for them besides get cards out of their hand. So they don't have any card draw yet, but maybe they will. So maybe the Curse of Exhaustion is something I want to get down before we do this other things, because they haven't gotten any ability counters off of the Arixmethes yet. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what we go for. We get out the Curse of Exhaustion. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. We're going to put the Curse of Exhaustion back onto them. So we're going to choose this one, white and a black, because we don't have anything we actually want to use black on. Put that back into our hand, and then we draw into that one. We'll cast it out there. Very grindy. Very, very grindy game for sure. We're going to target Alex Monster with that one. We're going to tap, let me see here, 2 off of that. And then white and white. I always just like tapping for things efficiently, even when it doesn't matter. Sometimes I don't, like you saw earlier in this game, I didn't really do that. Mostly decided Hall of Mirrors isn't that worth it since so many legends don't stack. And if there is a Kokusho, I don't want the effect at all. That's a good point. Sakashima is on theme, flirted with the concept of playing Hall of Mirrors. Yeah, Sidar is not going to be as great. They're going to counter our Curse of Exhaustion. That will remove a counter from the Arixmethes. Put them down to 1 card in hand. So 2 counters here. They've got to draw into 2 spells on the next turn in order to turn Arixmethes online. And ultimately, they would have countered no matter what we played there. So if we played out Ardenn for 5 mana, we would not have had enough mana to go for anything else. So it doesn't really matter how you slice it. I mean, whatever we did there, because of that counter spell, they would have been fine. So let's see if they happen to draw. They top deck a spell here. And they've got a spell in hand at the same time. Then that means they can take off the counters from the Arixmethes, attack us for 12, put us down to 10. That's also halfway towards commander damage. So one of those cards was a land. That makes me feel a lot better. I still think we're going to go... I think now, because Arixmethes is down to 2 counters, they've got 1 card in hand. Although it's probably an instant. Maybe it's another counter spell. Let's go for the Ardenn here. We're going to go for the Ardenn and then Darksteel Mutation. Not using the Hall of Heliod's Generosity. So we're going to draw into... Hey, we draw into a land. So let's go and play that out there. Go for the Ardenn here. Cast that one. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I guess 5? Yeah, because we're not going to have enough mana to do anything else anyways. So let's go for Ardenn. Get that one out there. Then we're going to go for the Darksteel Mutation on our own creature. So we're going to do it this way. So one, actually we'll do it like this. White and white. All right. So from there, we're pretty much done until Alex Monster passes turn back to us. So we can kind of just do this. Yield until the end step here. This is definitely a very fun deck. I like seeing Arixmethes. It's not every day that you'll see something like that. So very excited to see this actually going on. I also got to admit that I like the partner combination of the Akroma and the Kamal. Rune is also very, very interesting. What I usually like to do in terms of voting, though, I like to vote for whichever commander is the least played. And I think at the table, it's probably Arixmethes. Maybe it is Akroma Kamal. Because those are both pretty expensive. People don't usually like expensive commanders. Yeah, I think I'm going to vote for the Akroma Kamal deck here. Randomly rummages through cards. Inscription of Insight for Rune. Scry to... Oh, it's here. It's on our turn. So we can attack for 0. No, thank you. We draw into a Curse of Fool's Wisdom. That's amazing. Because now they're going to be losing 2 life. That's 5 turns at the least. And we get to gain some life off of that. So it also protects us as well. So you know what? Pretty easy decision here. We're going to go ahead and do this one. We're going to leave up that Hall of Heliod's Generosity as well. So black, red. This one for whatever. We've got another black we've got to use here from the Scrub Land. Let's go ahead and tap down the Plains here. And then lastly, the Plateau. So we've got the mana that we need to use Hall of Heliod's Generosity. I feel pretty happy about this. I think this is going to be looking pretty good. We've got our blocker ready to go in case we need to do that here. But this puts them on a 5-turn clock. Every time they're drawing cards, it's going to be hitting them for some damage. And we get to gain some life. So I'm pretty happy about this. Next turn, I think we are going to want to go for our game plan of putting out the Curse of Exhaustion. Because the way that they'll be able to win this is if they get Arixmethes online. Like, that's definitely one way that they're going to be able to survive here. I think maybe we just want to go for the Vial Smasher as well, because that doubles up that damage, right? So we can, or I'm sorry, that allows us to deal damage off of our spells that we're casting. So that also seems pretty good. Hall of Heliod. Oh, you know what? Actually, check this out. Here at the end step of Alex's turn, we go for the Hall of Heliod's Generosity, targeting the Curse of Exhaustion. Put that into the hand. We play out the Vial Smasher, play out the Curse of Exhaustion, and then from there we're pretty good. Not bad, right? So I'm feeling pretty happy about that. Yeah, let's go for it. Hall of Heliod's Generosity. We're going to bring back Curse of Exhaustion. I mean, they're not casting anything anyways. Maybe we go for something different. What's the one that deals damage? I like this one. I think this one's good. Yeah, let's go for the Curse of the Pierced Heart. So white here and white here. We can put that into the hand. And we can put the Curse of Bloodletting out there. I mean, because we're not going to draw into a land here. We know what's on top. Do we go for our commander and the 2-drop aura? Probably. That's probably even better. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that instead. So let's go for our commander. Not that it matters, really. But we can go for Vial Smasher the Fierce. Casting this one. So black, red. Not going to use this one. Let me see here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're not going to have enough mana for the Hall of Heliod's Generosity. So let's just use up a bunch of mana here. Okay. Getting out the Vial Smasher the Fierce. So on future turns, this will able to be really good for us. Let's go ahead and play this out here. We're going to tap a white and a red. Get out the Curse of the Pierced Heart. Okay, pretty good. A lot of curses. This is one of those decks that if you play it, there's just so many moving parts that it's going to be tough to figure out how to do it best. So right here on their turn, they're going to take 3 damage. They're on a 3-turn clock right now. And I think from the Curse of Bloodletting, that should kill them here in 2 turns. Maybe even 1 turn. We'll see. So let's see what they can do. They've got to draw into 2 spells. I think that's what they're trying to do here. They're trying to get 2 spells cast in the same turn. They've been drawing into a bunch of lands, so that's been kind of hurting them. We're going to go up to 26 here. So let's see what they do. Yeah, casting this Curse of Bloodletting should be pretty helpful for us because that's going to help us close out the game here with the Vial Smasher. Simic Signet, okay. That's going to remove 1 counter. Do they have another spell in their hand? Or is that last card a land as well? If they've got that, we do have the way to block that 12/12. See, the problem is, it could be something like Levitation, for example. It's a 4-drop enchantment that gives all your creatures flying. If they had that, I mean, they would be hitting us for 12 damage here. Luckily, that wouldn't necessarily mean death. It would just make me very nervous, and I don't like being nervous. Nice, got a Skyclave Apparition among my Zendikar cards. That's not a bad possibility, but doesn't solve card draw, card flow. Shakes fist that 3 of his Mystics in the Zendikar box were copies of Tazri. Yeah, feels bad, man. When you've got like a bunch of things happening where you're not getting the ability to draw those cards, to pull good cards from boxes, it's frustrating. So I definitely feel you. I'm not a pack cracker, whatever you call them. I'm just a magical hacker, not a magic pack cracker. So that doesn't resonate with me too much, but I definitely can understand how it's frustrating there. All right, do we want to draw into anything? I don't think so. Let's just draw a card off the top. Maybe we draw into something else that's good. Expedition map? Nah, it's not a good card. For this situation, not very great. We're gonna go and choose Alex Monster. They're at 5 damage or 5 life right now, so that is gonna be game. So yeah, I think that's it. I feel pretty good about this. Yep. Vial Smasher the Fierce, randomly gonna deal it to our last opponent, and that is gonna be it for this game. Gonna give that the point. That doesn't really matter, I guess, but I'm gonna give it to MKB 1460. They're gonna say GG. I'm gonna close out this one and say GG as well. Well played. And thank you so much for joining me for this stream. I had a lot of fun playing this curse deck. Again, if you want to see some of the newer stuff that's going to be coming out with Kaldheim, yeah, they drew 5 lanes back to back. Yeah, I saw that. Bad running for sure. So if you want to see some new decks with commanders from Kaldheim, starting tomorrow on YouTube and on Twitter, I'll be posting deck lists of those decks and talking a little bit about why I like those commanders so much. So thank you so much for joining me for this stream. Hope that you enjoyed this and had a lot of fun. I know I did. And I will see you guys next time. Stay awesome, everybody.